Now, talking about people of proper kind of physical beauty and ability, every 4 years the world is introduced to a whole cast of new sporting stars who just wow us with their superhuman feats. Some of those Team GB stars might make it to 2 games. Some, if they're lucky and really, really good, 3. But 5? Are you kidding me? 5?
Well, that's what Tom Daley has done, winning a 5th medal at his 5th Olympic Games.
Tom's first games were all the way back in 2008, and he was a little cherub, just 14 years old, and the nation and the world has been cheering him on ever since.
Delighted to tell you we're joined by a very special guest, 13-year-old British diving hero Tom Daley.
I wondered, are we, the media, setting him up for a fall?
I started when I was 8 and I've been training really hard ever since.
You had an amazing amount of fans out in Beijing, so a home crowd's going to be awesome, isn't it?
Everything is definitely focusing on London 2012 now.
In 2012, Tom Daley stood on this exact platform before diving into his first bronze medal.
You could, in theory, be in 5 Olympics, couldn't you?
Hopefully 5, but it depends how my body holds out, really.
Rio 2016 is the massive aim, and that's where I need to be at my peak form.
To get that bronze medal, you know, it just means the world. Obviously, I really want to win the gold medal. That's what everyone going in there is wanting to get, is the Olympic gold medal.
9 years later, and he's finally got the gold.
Can't believe it. Olympic champions. Here it is.
Tom Daley came out of retirement for the 2024 Games. Thank goodness he did.
Who knew Holly Willoughby, our very own Mystic Meg there, predicted 5?
She knows her sport, because what you say, stuff on this sofa, it happens. So if you say Tom Daley's going to make 6 Olympics, he'll go to LA and he'll bag another one. That's what's going to happen. I'm delighted to say Olympic legend, all-round great fella, Tom Daley, joins us now live from Paris, from the Eurosport sofa, now part of the punditry team there. Looking forward to seeing you next week. Tom, how are you?
I'm doing good. It's been a bit of a whirlwind, not going to lie, since the competition, but it's been amazing, actually. And I've gone into my 5th games, compete in front of my family and friends. It was really special.
Tom, you look tired.
I feel tired. Yeah, you look tired. Oh, thank you very much.
No, I mean, you look great, but have you been celebrating that silver medal?
But sadly not, because, you know, I've been with my family, which has been the nice thing. So I've been up early with the kids this morning.
Phoenix keeping them awake, you see. There you go.
Yeah,
Tom,
yeah.
The lovely thing about you is we've watched you over the years. I mean, we've just shown a clip of you there, and you must have been about 13, 14. And we've gone through it with you. Is it strange, you know, watching your life back and everybody knows your ups and downs?
It does feel very weird to have, you know, my whole life documented in that way. But at the same time, I kind of feel lucky to be able to have that moment for my kids to be able to one day look back and see all of the things that I did and all of the things that they've kind of helped me and inspired me to do. You know, if it wasn't for Robbie, I wouldn't have come back for these Olympic Games. And, you know, I'm very glad that I did, you know, coming away with another medal. But it's also really special whenever I bump into people in the streets or whatever, and people are asking questions about, you know, my diving. I swear people know more about my life sometimes than I do myself and where I'm going to be. But it is, you know, it's been great to come back and be part of Team GB again. And,
you know, you as you said, you were 13 or 14 and you were one of the youngest Olympians of all time. And that is a lot for a 13 or 14-year-old to have on their shoulders. Did you feel that incredible amount of pressure at the time?
I think when I was younger, I didn't really know what I was doing. I felt like, you know, most 14-year-olds, you know, I probably thought I knew everything about what the Olympics was going to be. But when you go into your first Olympic Games, you have no idea of the scale of it. And I just remember the first time I walked to the end of the platform, looked over the edge and saw the Olympic rings on the bottom of the pool. It really kind of just made me think like, oh, my goodness, this is the moment that I've been dreaming of, the moment that I've wanted to, you know, I've dreamed of my whole life to be able to participate in an Olympic Games, and to be able to do that 5 times, and one of them being a home games in London, you know, it's pretty special.
Yeah. Because athletes, you only think in 4-year cycles, really, don't you, Tom? At 14, 15, you weren't thinking, you know, Paris 2024. You just don't think that way, do you?
No, exactly. You think one cycle at a time. And I think that's something that's really good for athletes, to think in 4-year cycles, but it's also really difficult when you finish a 4-year cycle to think, I have to start that 4-year cycle all over again and get ready for the next one. And as an athlete gets older and older, you have that feeling of, you know, will I get to do another Olympic Games? Because nothing's ever guaranteed. You know, in 2008, that could have been my first and last Olympics. So when you get to an Olympic Games, you have to really try and cherish it. And that's something that I've really learned in the last couple of Olympics, was to really enjoy the moment, really soak it in and take every single part of that experience and try and be as present as possible.
You're there because Robbie, your son, said, Dad, I'd love to see you compete. And what a lovely thing to be able to give your family, that memory. If it wasn't for that, you wouldn't have gone to Paris, no?
No, exactly. It was about 15 months ago that we were in the Olympic and Paralympic Museum in Colorado Springs. And at the end of it, there was this inspirational video about what it means to be an Olympian. And at the end of it, I was crying. My husband, Lance, turns to me and is like, oh, no, like, I know what this means. And Robbie was like, what's the matter, Papa? And I was like, you know, I miss diving and I miss the sport. And, you know, after taking 2 years away from it, he said to me, well, Papa, I want to see you dive at the Olympics. And you know, that was it. That got me back in the pool to have a little try. And I didn't know if I was going to make the synchro team. I didn't know if we were going to be able to qualify a spot for Team GB. But, you know, getting back into it and falling back in love with the sport again was really, really, you know, I've really enjoyed it and I've really loved this year.
Tom, you know, because you are a family man now, and you've got your amazing husband, Lance, which you've credited him. He's been brilliant, hasn't he? But how did you both fit it all in? I mean, you're an Olympian. The amount of training that you put towards your sport is unimaginable, especially with 2 kids. How did you do it all?
Oh, it is so incredibly tough. And I think any parents that are both working will be able to, you know, confirm this. It is really hard to be able to have 2 working parents and be able to have, you know, lots of time for your kids. And my husband has been so incredibly supportive because, you know, originally, you know, I thought I was done after Tokyo. And then 2 years later, I'm like, I want to go back. And he has been incredible with really putting his career to the side for me to be able to have the time to train, have the time to compete and do all the training camps. And, you know, I think it's definitely going to be my turn for a little bit now. Yeah. But it's been, you know, I owe it to him. And I think that's with athletes. You don't realize how many people behind you are supporting you and are there for you to be able to achieve your dreams. So they are really the unsung heroes behind Olympians, is the family members that are there to support you and, you know, give you everything that you need to be able to perform at your best.
That's the thing. The individual wins the medal, but the family and the community make the medal. And this is the other point about watching you grow and all these wonderful things that have happened in your life, but also your relationship with your dad, and your dad, God rest his soul, was able to spend so much time with you before that first Olympics. And when he passed, we went through that with you. Yeah. He played such an important part in your life, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, my dad was my biggest cheerleader, biggest supporter. I always knew exactly where he was sitting in the crowd with his massive flag that he would wave. And yeah, you know, I feel like everything happens for a reason in a weird way, but you know, my dad did get to see me compete at my first Olympics in 2008, and that was an outside chance that I would ever qualify. He also got to see me win my first world title in 2009 when I was 15, and I do wonder, would I have ever won that, you know, if he would still be around? And it's, yeah, I do hope that he would be incredibly proud of the things that I've achieved since then. And, you know, I remember I went to like a sports aid ball when I was about 10 years old. And I said on that stage that I would go to 5 Olympic Games and win an Olympic gold medal for Team GB. And, you know, he was in the audience then. And I feel like, you know, he's been helping me and guiding me along that way as well.
That's lovely.
Oh, lovely. You know, your dad supported you, and then you get to look over on that diving board and your 2 kids and your husband are there. It's this, and I think that's what we love to watch, isn't it? You know, you're a family guy, and you've made it and you've brought it home again. And you've also got a book out soon, haven't you?
Yeah, well, I've got, you know, I did a kids' book. It came out a few months ago, and it was, you know, that was really fun to watch. That was actually Robbie's probably favourite thing that I've done so far, because bedtime stories became very exciting and interesting. It's called Jack Splash. It's about a diver and his friends and overcoming adversity, working together as a team and spreading kindness and love. And I think that's a really important message for kids nowadays. And it was really fun to, you know, be a part of that.
You're on the TV, Soph, and I can't wait to work with you now. You're hopefully going to be around for the closing ceremony. I bet you want to party there as well. It's going to be a busy old weekend for you. How are you enjoying life on telly?
Yeah, it's been really fun, actually, because, you know, when I was getting ready to compete, I was so focused on the competition. But now being able to be here for the Bonsoir Paris show every night and also being able to catch all the action. You know, whether it's the swimming, the gymnastics, the diving, whatever you want, you can catch it all on Discovery Plus, and it makes it so easy to be able to stay up to date with all the Olympic action because, you know, there's a lot going on every single day.
What's that, Tom? There's 3,800 hours of Olympic coverage on Eurosport and Discovery Plus. Is that what you said there?
Yeah.
Actually, fun thing, right? Fun thing, right? They have it on the app as well. So, because we're here next week as well, you could watch us on This Morning and have the app and watch the Olympics on there. You don't have to go anywhere else. You can stay with us for the duration. Tom, I think you look amazing.
You could double screen it.
You could double screen it. You look amazing. Yourself and Noah, congratulations, by the way, on the silver medal.
Thank you.
I think you have another medal in you. Sorry, I'm just saying LA for the next Olympics. Are we saying a definite no? We're saying we'll see.
I'll be 34 then. I don't know if I'll be able to get out of bed and still carry on diving, but you never know. I thought I was done after the last one, and then here I am. So, you know, but Robbie's already cashed in his token, but maybe Phoenix will want to cash in the token.
So we're not saying retirement here. We're not. I can smell an exclusive Tom Daley when I see one. We're not saying retirement. We're saying live on British TV today, Tom Daley may compete in LA. Correct?
Who knows? Who knows? You know, we'll see. I mean, I'm enjoying it right now, having a little bit of time to be able to not be in the pool every day. But, you know, we'll see. No big decisions yet.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Send our love to Lance, Tom. And I love the jumper that you knitted, your GB jumper.
Thank you.
It was lovely.
Thank you.
See you next week, buddy.
Thank you.
See you next week.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.